At the start of the story, this world's game and reality have merged, creating many different professions along with countless mysteries like ruins, hidden realms, and monsters. Everyone can earn experience points, materials, craft new equipment and new items by hunting monsters. However, no matter how ferocious the monsters are, they cannot compare to that venerable existence, a rare mystery as powerful as a god. At a high school in Long Country, a hand struck the desk. All the students paid attention. Today's profession bestowal ceremony not only affects your university admission but also relates to your future development. Although in theory the profession change outcome is random and judged, everyone must have faith in themselves. As long as your spirit is steadfast, anyone has a chance to awaken a combat profession. At this moment, in a corner of the class, a student named Liu Kan lowered his head in thought. Finally, this day had come. This is Liu Kan, who had gotten through 3 years here on his own. During those 3 years, he came to understand this world better. The world has 3 major types of professions. At the top are combat professions like warriors, mages, and archers. They use power to explore hidden realms, obtain countless gear and generous rewards, and are the goals everyone aspires to. Next are enhancement professions like alchemists. They can forge specialized items with powerful effects, but the material costs are huge. Only wealthy families can pursue them. Finally, at the bottom are livelihood professions like cooks, herbal pharmacists, and craftsmen. This is the future for most people, becoming ordinary, working hard to make a living. My Aunt Han Ka is such a cook. She toils every day at a small bun shop to support my schooling. Although only 8 years older than me, she cares for me devotedly. I feel all her hardships. To survive in this world and give her a better life, I must become a combat profession. The teacher answered the phone. Yes, principal, I understand. The teacher excitedly announced the profession bestowal ceremony was about to begin. Let's depart quickly. The class responded in unison. Yes, let's go. Seeing people still not leaving, the teacher asked Liu Kan, what's wrong? You're the top student, don't put too much pressure on yourself. Suddenly, the system board appeared with a notification. Liu Kan, congratulations, the superclass treasure storage system has been successfully activated. Liu Kan was stunned, not yet understanding what was happening. When the teacher called out, Liu Kan, did you hear what I said? Startled, Liu Kan hurriedly stood and ran off, not forgetting to turn and say, sorry teacher, I'm going now. As he ran, he thought, finally I transmigrated into this world, how could there be no system? But what does this system do? I'll check later. Right now the profession bestowal ceremony is more important. Outside the square, people kept chatting. Is that the profession bestowal crystal? It's the first time I've seen one. Another said, so nerve-wracking. On the podium, the principal shouted, quiet down, everyone. If you could become a special combat profession that would be great, powerful, worshipped by 10,000 people. Someone else interjected, brother, dreaming in broad daylight. Special combat professions, how many people in the whole school can get those? Isn't a livelihood profession already very good? The principal pointed toward the pastor. This is the pastor presiding over today's profession bestowal ceremony. People murmured, is that the person in charge of bestowing professions? Liu Kan looked straight at the pastor, thinking inwardly that the aura of a combat profession was indeed different. Those nearby buzzed, such a strong presence, if only I could awaken like that. At that moment, the system notified that it had acquired the skill, Judgment Eye. Liu Kan was puzzled, judgment. He operated the system board to view the pastor's information. Profession, pastor. Level, 29. Skill, profession transfer initiation. Stored value, 50 million long E. Liu Kan was astonished, he could see the pastor's information. He stared at the number, repeating it in his head, 50 million long E. The principal loudly, quiet, please, when a name is called, please come up. Liu Kan was still absorbed in the system, thinking to himself that his aunt would never earn that much in her whole life making buns. The principal read aloud, Zhang Dao. People buzzed, Zhang Dao, the top student in first year, wonder what combat profession he'll get. Another replied, of course, his attributes are very high. Although profession transfers are basically random, the higher your attributes the more likely you are to become a combat profession. The girls cheered, handsome guy, go for it. Zhang Dao stepped up and stood before the bestowal pedestal where the pastor was conducting the ritual. He smiled confidently and looked at the glowing stone. Streams of energy condensed into a golden sphere. People below shouted, "He's a mage, a fireball mage." Zhang Dao looked cool, indeed a combat profession. Someone else envied him, his future prospects are limitless. The girls shouted again, "Oh so cool, Zhang Dao, let me lean on you later." Zhang Dao reached out to catch the orb and smiled. Seeing that, Lu Kan thought to himself that as long as it's a combat profession, it's goodbye to ordinary life. The principal, seeing the noise, called out, "Quiet, quiet, next person." Then individuals went up one by one for bestowal. Herbalist, looks like inheriting the family trade. Tailor, but I don't even like that. Miner? No thanks, I don't want that. Lu Kan saw that most were ordinary professions and couldn't help thinking that combat professions were indeed rare, the majority remained livelihood professions. Awakening a combat profession meant a broad future, while most who awakened livelihood professions would be tied to ordinary lives forever. Someone said, "That's fine too. Look at Li Bing in class 3, his family is poor but he got an enhancement profession, which has huge costs. It's not even better than a livelihood profession, having no skill might be better." Hearing that, Lu Kan couldn't help but worry, his family was also strapped. What if he became an enhancement profession? While he was thinking, the principal called, "Lu Kan, class 25. Lu Kan startled and answered loudly, "Yes, sir." Then he slowly stepped forward. People around whispered, "He's pretty handsome too, wonder what profession he'll awaken." Lu Kan looked at the stone pillar, thinking that things had come to this point and being nervous was useless. He placed his hand on the stone to undergo the bestowal ritual, focusing his mind on which profession he would awaken. Suddenly, an eye appeared, causing Lu Kan's face to go dark. What was happening? He pulled himself together, stared at his hand, and the thought flashed through his head, a Dragon Tamer. The principal, witnessing the scene, was immensely shocked. Those around also didn't understand what was happening. The principal stepped closer, shaken, and said, "Such a big reaction, and it's the most useless, worthless profession, the Dragon Tamer." After the bestowal ritual, Lu Kan was on his way home. Jianghai City's old quarter was already deserted. He opened the system panel to check his own information. Profession, Dragon Tamer. Level, 10. Skill, Dragon Taming Arts, can domesticate creatures of the dragon race. Stored value, 239. Lu Kan muttered, "Dragon Tamer." Recalling the morning's bestowal scene, he couldn't help but be puzzled. A profession considered ordinary and useless, how could a person possibly tame mighty creatures like dragons? True, though it's a special profession, in reality it's the weakest. Two people whispered to each other, "The weakest? Isn't Dragon Tamer one of the three great special professions along with Dragon Blood Warrior and Dragon Speech Mage?" Another added, "Yes, but if you can't find dragons, what can you tame? Better to be a summoner." "Auntie, I'm home." Aunt Han Ka, whose livelihood profession is a cook, cheered as soon as he returned and hugged him. "Our little fan's back." She took his hand and led him to the dining table. "Today is your important profession transfer day. So, what profession did you get?" Lu Kan kept his head down and said nothing. Seeing this, his aunt understood and said softly, "Ah, even if it's not a combat profession it's okay. I'm worried about you going out to fight monsters every day." Lu Kan replied sullenly, "It's not that, auntie." His hand trembled as he continued, "I became a Dragon Tamer. It's a profession that, without dragons, is basically nothing." His aunt still smiled, "Dragon Tamer is fine too, that proves our little fan is very strong." She then hugged him and said, "If you can go to university later, I'll keep supporting you. If you don't want to, you can stay home and make buns with me." Lu Kan looked up to speak, but his aunt cut him off. "All right, stop worrying and eat." He glanced at the food and said, "There's too much, I can't finish it." Afterwards, he returned to his room and wearily lay down on the bed. He thought that his aunt was only 26. No matter how many years she worked hard it would be difficult to change their ordinary life. He wanted a better life with her. Would becoming a Dragon Tamer make that dream even more distant? He was unwilling to accept it. Clearly, if dragons appeared, a Dragon Tamer would be recognized as a special profession. But where could he go to find dragons? Just then, the system emitted a notification sound. Liu Kan, congratulations on receiving a god-tier treasure stash, the first day reward has been sent. Startled, Liu Kan sat up. The first day reward was god-tier. The system explained, you will receive one superclass treasure stash reward each day. On the first day, all rewards are god-tier treasure stashes. Liu Kan suddenly remembered that when the system activated it was called the superclass treasure system. So far he'd only tested the appraisal function and still didn't fully understand the stash's main use. With that thought, he pressed to open the gift box. The system displayed treasure stash tiers, primary, intermediate, advanced, and god tier. 3 low-tier treasure maps of the same rank can be fused into a higher rank map. Each day you will be granted a treasure map of random tier and random location. By going there, you can find treasures related to your corresponding profession. At that moment Liu Kan felt as if he stood on the edge of a cliff, on one side labeled worthless, on the other the peak of the dragon lineage. He thought that profession-related treasures. Dragon Tamer was considered weakest only because taming dragons seemed impractical. If he could make good use of this system, he'd have a chance to cross from weakest to strongest. In other words, this god-tier treasure stash was his last hope. If he gave up, he'd live at society's bottom forever and couldn't repay his aunt. He had to go. Having decided, he pressed the button to claim the gift. The system produced a map with the notice, Bingyuan Mountain Rocks, area level 10 to 20. Liu Kan looked at the map and thought the place wasn't far from Jianghai City, just catch the last suburban bus at night and he'd arrive by early morning. The next morning, Aunt Han Ka woke up, still yawning. She found a note on the table and called out, Little fan, little fan. In the letter, Liu Kan had written, Auntie, I'm heading to Bingyuan Mountain Rocks for a few days. Don't worry, this could be an opportunity to change the fate of my Dragon Tamer profession. I'll be fine. Wait for my return. I'll help us have a better life. At this time, Liu Kan had already arrived outside Bingyuan Mountain Rocks. Suddenly, a hand landed on his shoulder and he spun around in surprise. A one-eyed old man looked at him and said, Friend, coming along. Liu Kan brushed his hand away, no thanks. He glanced at the 3 of them, thinking, could they be material hunters? The girl in the group spoke, think again, brother. The old man added, Young man, it's dangerous to go into the wild alone at night without companions. Liu Kan thought to himself that these people had bad intentions, stealing materials, even killing and looting wouldn't be surprising. The big guy, seeing his hesitation, clasped his hands together, well. Decided yet? Liu Kan stepped back, one hand gripping his backpack, the other holding a defensive item, tense, they were clearly targeting him. The big guy stared, so, coming with us or not? Liu Kan shook his head, no, I already said, no. The old man said again, Kid, you don't understand the rules of the wild, nights are more dangerous than you think. The 3 of them edged closer. Liu Kan thought that without any skills he absolutely had to avoid a direct confrontation. Liu Kan looked at them and said, I'm a summoner, I don't need companions. If something dangerous happens I can summon elemental creatures to handle it. He pictured being chased by those level 8 armor beasts, though they wouldn't attack proactively, if provoked he certainly wouldn't be their match. He shook his head and thought, forget it, I'll find another route. He moved carefully, step by step, to avoid making noise. Even though he chose a detour for safety, it wasn't entirely safe. Then he spotted a level 7 giant stag spirit and failed to notice a frog at his feet, it was probably about to come closer. Oh no, his foot stepped on the frog, which let out a loud plop. He broke into a sweat and looked down at his foot, and the whole herd of giant stags turned to look at him. Realizing this, one of the herd raised its head and let out a call, then the entire herd began to chase him. He ran while shouting, he had definitely disturbed them. He glanced to the side and saw a cliff face, took a running jump and grabbed onto it, waiting for the herd to pass before dropping down. As soon as he landed he saw the frog he'd stepped on earlier, only a leg sticking out. He opened the system to check the map and thought that at his current level, even a timid giant stag spirit would beat him. If he missed this opportunity, he'd be like that crushed green frog. He pointed at the red dot on the map, is it here? Then he looked up, and in front of him was a glowing rock hollow. Found it, the exact spot the treasure map indicated. He ran straight over, thinking this was the treasure that could change the fate of his Dragon Tamer profession. He focused on the dragon egg and saw it cracking. It's breaking the shell. A hatchling is about to be born. The system notified, Black Dragon Egg, rank unknown. He noticed a sound coming from outside. He drew the knife on him. The path had seemed clear. The system displayed the novice blade info, inlay knife, common quality from Long State Academy, one of the basic melee weapons. Suddenly a grey wolf lunged forward. He swung to strike, but the wolf bit into his blade and stopped it. At close range he realized it was a bloodthirsty grey wolf, his whole body trembling. He braced with both hands and put all his strength into throwing it away from him. Then he added another slash, sending it flying. System notice, bloodthirsty grey wolf, level 10. Skills, 3 claws, 3 consecutive claw strikes, life drain, heals by the amount of the opponent's lost health. Experience points, 120. Drops, hide, 80 dragon coins. He looked at the grey wolf and thought, 3 consecutive claw attacks and self-healing, it can strike 3 times in a row and recover its health. Then he glanced at the cracking egg and thought, damn, I have no counter skills, maybe I can stall until the hatchling emerges to use the dragon command technique. He couldn't dodge in time as the wolf leaped close to him, and when he hastily raised his hand to block, it slashed and tore a chunk from his arm. Angry, he thought he couldn't let it heal, so he had to finish it when it used 3 claws. He struck at it, but it raised a claw to block, causing his knife to crack. The wolf lunged in and slashed at him again. He nimbly dodged and gritted his teeth. Thinking this was the moment, he raised the knife high and brought it down, catching it before it could evade. System notice, bloodthirsty grey wolf level 10 has been killed. Liu Kan received 120 experience points. He wiped his sweat and sighed in exhaustion. I did it. A voice sounded from behind him. Ha ha ha, you actually killed it. He froze. Turns out it was the 3 from before. Nice work, kid. Seeing this, he clenched his fist. You were following me. I said I wouldn't join you. The pink-haired girl approached. Ah, little handsome, no need to be so tense. I think you're misunderstanding us. The old man pointed at him. Exactly, kid. You said you're a summoner, so why, when you're injured like this, didn't you use your skill? Hearing that, he ground his teeth in anger. Take the wolf corpse if you want it, but stop following me. Then he kicked the wolf over to them. The old man went to the wolf, grinning maliciously. Ha ha, little handsome, you're interesting. This hide is only worth 80 dragon coins. How many cuts did we need you to make before it's worth splitting? It's not this we want. He looked at the rock hollow behind him. Only then did Liu Kan realize these people had discovered the dragon egg. 2 of them lunged at him. He couldn't react in time and was punched, sent flying. The pink-haired girl closed in, pressing a knife to his throat. Don't move, little handsome, you'll get hurt. The old man looked at him and said, heh heh heh, kid, you seriously underestimated the sharpness of material hunters when it comes to treasures. The big guy picked up the egg and called out, look at this. Seeing that, he thought, I'm done for. The old man said, the treasure's in our hands, kill him. The girl said to him, what a pity, little handsome, we must part forever. The old man happily ran to the egg. Oh oh oh, what a beautiful egg. Liu Kan thought, this is my only chance to transform. I absolutely can't let them take it. But suddenly the egg shattered and flew into the air. The 2 looked up in shock and saw a large dark silhouette with red eyes staring down. What kind of monster is that? Liu Kan watched, his eyes wide. No sooner had the thought left his mind than the dragon dove down at incredible speed. The old man also hurled a blue orb toward the dragon, but it dodged to one side, and then lunged straight at the tall young man. He braced to fight, but faced with the dragon's presence, he couldn't resist. With a single strike the hatchling tore him apart. The old man collapsed, watching his comrade die. The hatchling fixed its attention on him, making him tremble with fear. Save me, please. The hatchling is this powerful straight out of the shell. No wonder no one can tame the dragon clan. Pink hair snapped angrily. A dragon is a dragon, what did you just say? This is actually a dragon egg. The dragon stood there dumbfounded, not understanding, while pink hair trembled. Liu Kan pushed her aside and ran. Material hunters have terrible noses. Trying to steal the dragon that belongs to me, this is your fate. He ran toward the dragon, and used the dragon command technique. Ah, you, who exactly are you? Liu Kan laughed. Ha ha ha, didn't you want to know who I am? I'm not a summoner, I'm a dragon tamer. System notice. Contract with the Black Dragon completed, skills Dragon Claw, Dragon Fang Strike, and Dragon's Rally unlocked. Pink hair, seeing the dragon approach her, panicked, "Spare me, I didn't know it was a dragon egg." Lucan angrily, "You despicable hunters, how many have you schemed against?" "No. I didn't. I was looking for your teammates." After saying this, the hatchling leaped toward her, and in an instant the two bodies lay there. Lucan bandaged his arm and exhaled, "Phew, it's finally over, I can't believe it." "Haha, alright, you're quite lively." He looked at the hatchling, an indescribable feeling welling up inside him. "I've truly crossed the line between the strongest and the weakest. Being this strong right after birth, I can't imagine how powerful it will be after leveling up." He hugged the hatchling. "The Dragon Tamer has escaped the weakest profession label. But what should I call you? Little Schemer? No. Black Diamond? No. Then call you. Wait, what are you doing?" The hatchling generated a red aura around its body. Then it gradually evolved into a young female dragon humanoid. Lucan watched in astonishment. "What is happening?" He looked at the girl flying in the air and asked, "So you can transform into a human form too?" She nodded repeatedly when Lucan asked. After confirming, Lucan summoned the system to view his profession info. Dragon Tamer level 10, Strength 55, Agility 53, Spirit 60, Stamina 60. Skills. Dragon Command, can tame dragons and dragon-type creatures. Dragon Claw, transforms the hand into a dragon claw, power determined by the dragons under command. Dragon Fang Strike, manipulates draconic energy to unleash a massive strike. Dragon's Rally, enhances self and dragons under command, increasing all attributes and attack power by 30%. Contract, Black Dragon, Legendary, Level 1, Value 239. After reading it, Lucan thought, as I suspected, taming the dragons unlocked all the skills. Dragon's Rally can strengthen the self and dragons under command, increasing all attributes and attack power by 30%. Dragon Fang Strike is a high damage skill. Dragon Claw can turn the hand into a dragon claw, dealing damage comparable to the dragons. Don't say it's only a black hatchling dragon, its stats are already 5 or 6 times higher than a normal human. Right now, even fighting personally he could crush combat professions of the same level. Lucan tapped the picture of the young dragoness to view detailed information. Contract, Black Dragon, Legendary, Level 1, Strength 342, Agility 267, Spirit 359, Stamina 373. Skills. Titanic Charge, dashes forward at high speed, dealing damage and causing continuous bleeding. Molten Flame Barrage, continuously breathes flames forward, inflicting injury and self-healing. Black Dragon Lineage, reduces incoming damage by 50%, grants immunity to all negative effects, and increases self-recovery by 500%. Contractile Bloodlink, increases the Dragon Tamer's attributes by 10%. After reading, Lucan thought in amazement, it's only a level 1 hatchling and already has these skills plus nearly 400 attribute points. Humanity is nothing. Even an opponent 20 levels higher wouldn't stand a chance. It's the Bloodlink contract that boosts its attributes so much. No wonder that after successfully taming it, I feel stronger. The 3 strongest hidden professions. No matter how strong hidden professions are, they stand no chance against the Dragon Clan. No doubt, Dragon Tamer is the most powerful hidden profession. Good, very good. Lucan looked at her, pondering. Though she can take human form, she still has dragon instincts. What should I name you? A little black dragon, and born on the eve of dawn. Little Knight, how about calling you Little Knight? She perked up happily at that. Wah! Looks like you like that name, huh? This outing was dangerous but well worth it. With that thought, he ruffled her head and asked, "Are you hungry?" Lucan straightened, hands on his hips. We should hunt some wild monsters to fill Little Knight's stomach, right? Then Lucan thought further, yes, we can't return yet. This is the opportunity that will decide whether I pass the university entrance practical exam. Many classmates have already gone out to level up. He slung on his backpack and left with her. The provincial top scholar prize and admission to the greatest academy in the Dragon Nation, once distant, now within reach. Still, it can't be taken lightly. Leveling up and mastering new skills is the top priority. Little Knight, let's go, deeper into the East Ice Mountain stones. There are monsters there tastier than eggshells. Before them lay a barren wasteland. Suddenly they heard a sound and became alert, turning to see a large pack of hyenas running toward them. Lucan said in alarm, "Those are plain spirit hyenas, even more dangerous than the bloodthirsty grey wolf." The system displayed, Plain Spirit Hyena Level 12. Skills, Savage Tear, rips the target, causing continuous bleeding, decay, inflicts a negative effect that causes disease. Rewards, 380 experience points, material drop, hyena tooth, 95 dragon coins. Lu can read it and thought, that was when I was weaker. Before, even after defeating the level 10 bloodthirsty grey wolf, I was severely injured. A cloud of dust rose so he couldn't see and he raised a hand to shield his eyes. It turned out Little Dragon had leapt up, clearly eager to fight. Seeing her like that, Lucan said, "If you want to go up, then go." With that, Lucan and she charged straight at the pack. But now, this East Ice Mountain Stones has become territory for the strongest dragon tamers and their dragons. It's no longer dangerous. The little dragon flew high, took a deep breath, then breathed fire down onto the monsters. Molten flame barrage continuously spat flames forward, inflicting injury while self-healing. As a result, all 7 hyenas were quickly killed. The system repeatedly announced, Black Dragon gained 380 experience points, Lucan gained 380 experience points. Lucan leveled up to level 11, Black Dragon leveled up to level 2, then continued to level 3. The system kept announcing, Black Dragon gained 380 experience points, Lucan gained 380 experience points. Hearing the rapid notifications, Lucan thought, not bad, but I need to level up faster. Hunt elite monsters, right? He looked at Little Knight and said, Little Knight, ignore these weaklings. Lucan looked into the cave and saw 3 pairs of red eyes staring at them. Little Knight, ignore these weaklings. Even so, the system continued to add experience points to Lucan and the little dragon. Suddenly, a huge paw emerged from the cave, revealing a 3-headed lion. System notice, 3-headed blood lion level 25. The red lion increases its defense and attack. Value, 2,570 dragon coins. Lu can read it and said, an elite leader level 25, generally you'd need a monster hunting team to approach it. Little Knight, let's go. She surged with bloodlust and charged straight at the lion. Seeing that, it roared and activated its defensive and offensive abilities. The 3 heads gathered, preparing to unleash a skill. Triple Roar Strike deals triple damage in an area. Dragon Fang Strike stabbed straight into the lion's head. System notice, Dragon Fang Strike used draconic energy to unleash a powerful attack with the current weapon. A huge explosion occurred, sending the lion rolling on the ground, its eyes rolling white. Lu Can and the little dragon landed. It's over. System notice, Lu can gain 23,790 experience points. Lu can leveled up to level 14, Black Dragon leveled up to level 9. Seeing this, Lu can said, fighting elite monsters levels you up fast. One foe and it leveled so many times. Then a new notification appeared, the treasure map system was activated, and a treasure map had been sent. Lucan was slightly surprised, huh? Another treasure map? I wonder what this one will be specifically for a Dragon Tamer. Lucan and Little Knight recovered their spirits and cheerfully said, Little Knight, let's go find the treasure. Scene shift, deep within the plains stone mountains, 3 people stood talking. Green Hair said, Sir, are we really going to miss this rare opportunity? Miss? We can't even enter. This is Sun Gu, a combat profession warrior for the secret realm. To enter you need at least 5 people, and we don't have enough, so it won't open. Tai Ni, a combat profession stalker, said, I propose we return to Jianghai to find people. We can't go back like that. Even at my speed, 1 person would take a day to arrive. Tuan Thursday swept her hair back and said, Secret realm opportunities refresh randomly and offer higher rewards than normal dungeons, but they only last 24 hours. A day is definitely not enough time. The speaker was Tan Thursday, a combat profession. Seeing her unhappy, Sun Gu advised, Miss, you're not the type to cling to things. With your strength, once you enter one of the top academies, you'll definitely be granted secret realms. Uncle Gu, I know that, but it's still really a pity. Suddenly Sun Gu became alert and shouted in one direction. Tiny immediately drew his weapon and looked forward in caution. From behind a rock, Lu Kan slowly stepped out. Just passing through. Look at your filthy appearance, kid, this isn't a place for treasure hunters like you. As Sun Gu spoke, Tan Thursday signaled him to stop. She stepped forward, extended her hand toward Lu Kan and smiled. Hello, we are from the Tan family of Jianghai. I'm Tan Thursday. Though this is sudden, could you temporarily join our team? You don't need to do anything, just enter the opportunity secret realm with us. After it's done, I'll pay you 100,000 dragon coins as a fee. What do you think? 100,000 dragon coins. Lu Kan smiled slightly, inwardly guessing that if the secret realm the Tan family coveted this much, the reward surely wouldn't be trivial. That's right, Tan Thursday affirmed. We just need you to fill the head count to enter the secret realm. You don't have to do anything and you can earn up to 100,000 dragon coins. Sun Gu interjected persuasively, opportunities like this don't come often. Hurry up, there aren't many chances. Lu Kan smiled faintly, I'm not very interested in money either, but we can cooperate under some rules. Tiny frowned, you mean to split the reward based on performance inside the secret realm? That's right, Lu Kan admitted frankly. Tan Thursday tilted her chin in thought for a moment. Their average level was around 20, while he looked noticeably weaker. Overconfident or just reckless? With time limited, she didn't overthink it and reached out her hand. If that's what you want, then fine, let's form the team that way. To show good faith, the earlier promise of 100,000 dragon coins still stands. Lu Kan shook her hand. Good, everyone get ready to depart. At the back of the group, Lu Kan thought that revealing Little Knight's identity out here in the wild would only invite trouble, so he decided not to summon her for the time being. As the group entered the instance, a notice appeared, Opportunity Secret Realm, Xing Village, Level 20, requires more than 5 people. They scanned the surroundings and advanced cautiously. The village was eerily quiet, they could even hear their own echoes. Tan Thursday said, the air feels heavy, there seems to be no sign of life in the mist. Tiny added. Sun Gu noticed Lu Kan's empty hands and asked, Kid, why are your hands empty like that? Don't you have any equipment? No equipment. Lu Kan smiled and held his hand out to the side. A flame burst up, swirling around his hand. When the fire dissipated, a blade had appeared in his hand. The masked dragon lance, a mystical iron quality weapon he had just received from the treasure map after defeating the three-headed blood lion, had replaced the starter inlaid blade. Glancing at Lu Kan's weapon, Sun Gu said, Kid, that weapon of yours doesn't look ordinary. I thought you were some treasure hunter, but you seem more like a student who just awakened a profession, right? Why do you care about him? Tiny said. Fine, we're cooperating, but if he has any foul intentions, I'll suppress him immediately. Suddenly the ground beneath Sun Gu cracked open and a pale hand burst up, and more undead crawled out of the earth. Uncle Gu, watch out! The young squire shouted, immediately using a charge skill to ram several zombies with his shield. Good job, squire. Sun Gu praised him and joined the battle with Tiny. Lu Kan remained standing, observing and quietly evaluating their formation, a warrior, an assassin, and a paladin, a very reasonable arrangement. Sun Gu had reached level 28, one step away from his second awakening. At that moment, Tan Thursday completed her spell. She raised her staff high, and shouted, Holy Radiant Meteor. Countless radiant motes fell like an ethereal rain, healing allies while sweeping away a wide swath of monsters. Then she turned to Lu Kan and explained, This is the feature of my profession. The hidden Holy Radiant Mage can combine offense and healing, but currently its attack is weaker than a mage's, and its healing is weaker than a cleric's. Is that so? Lu Kan murmured, inwardly assessing another hidden profession. Her damage was indeed very effective against the undead. Suddenly, the ground shook violently, and a new wave of monsters, Fairy Blood Undead level 20, rose up from the earth. These were true elite monsters. Sun Gu immediately ordered, Tiny, protect the miss and that kid. Squire, let's go, don't let these lackeys ruin the front line. Understood. Sun Gu and the squire rushed forward to attack, but their strikes seemed ineffective. The wounds on the fairy blood undead quickly closed up, even clamping onto both their weapons. How is this possible? The squire cried in panic. Immediately after, the monsters all opened their mouths and released a toxin. Lu Kan knew only a cleric could neutralize that poison, while Tan Thursday, as a holy radiant mage, couldn't fully counter it. Brother Sun, help me, the squire shouted, part of his arm trapped. Sun Gu was struggling too. He decisively dropped his weapon and lunged to free the squire. Drop your weapons. Tiny, move to the front and stop the undead in my stead. No need to trouble her, leave it to me. Lu Kan smiled and advanced to the front with his weapon. Kid, are you insane? Fall back now. Sun Gu yelled anxiously. Lu Kan didn't answer, his gaze was ice cold. He eyed the charging monster and severed it with a clean horizontal slash. To everyone's astonishment, the creature they'd struggled against was neatly bisected by him. Lu Kan turned back and smiled, don't be afraid, remember we still have to keep moving forward. The group stared at him in stunned silence. Only when the squire cried out in pain did Tan Thursday snap back and rush over to heal him. I'll heal you. Meanwhile, Sun Gu, still shaken, asked Lu Kan in a trembling voice, Kid, what level are you? A newly awakened student couldn't possibly deal such massive damage. Lu Kan replied calmly, I'm just a level 14 student, don't worry, I have no reason to deceive you. I'm here preparing for the upcoming exam. Hearing the word exam, Tan Thursday, who was treating the miss, unconsciously frowned. She thought, does his purpose mirror mine? But how can a level 14 outperform Brother Sun, who's level 28? Her thoughts were interrupted as the ground suddenly split. A monstrous creature rose from the earth, its roar tearing through the air as it lunged straight at Tan Thursday. Miss, watch out! Tiny shouted, rushing to block in front of her. She had just raised her crossbow when a shadow streaked by like a gale. Lu Kan acted first, a sharp slash ending the monster instantaneously. Afterwards he turned and said calmly, the deeper we go, the stronger the zombies get. I'll take point, any objections? No one objected. Tan Thursday suddenly grew suspicious. Could this be the figure causing such a stir throughout Jianghai recently? She smiled slightly, then we'll rely on you. Classmate, you and Brother Sun will lead, I'll tend the squire, and Tiny will cover the rear. The secret realm guardian should be deep within the village. Call me Lu Kan. Let's go, press deeper inside. With that, he immediately led the group forward. Tan Thursday watched Lu Kan steady back with growing doubt. Lu Kan, do you possess the rumored hidden profession Dragon Tamer? Impossible. Wasn't Dragon Tamer considered one of the weaker professions? Time passed as the group moved deeper into the village center. Tan Thursday focused on healing the squire while the other three cleared the monsters blocking their path. After clearing another wave of zombies, Lu Kan glanced at the squire, inwardly worried. Tan Thursday's magic couldn't dispel the zombie toxin. To get out of here they had to defeat the secret realm guardian. They needed to hurry. If the toxin spread through his body, the squire wouldn't just die but risk turning into a zombie. Tiny said, there's no sign of the secret realm guardian in the village, something's off. At that moment, the huge pile of scrap behind them trembled slightly, but no one noticed. Except the squire. Using his last strength he screamed, Brother Sun, everyone, behind you. Tan Thursday cried out in alarm, and Sun Gu spun around. Before they could check their teammates, both sensed an overwhelming pressure. Their gazes turned to the scrap pile the squire had warned about. In seconds, a gigantic monster loomed into view. The secret realm guardian had appeared. Tiny exclaimed in horror. Lu Kan immediately activated the judging eye. Steel Zombie, level 20. Experience, 3720. Drops, Scrap Metal, 45 tails. Skills, Corpse Toxin Fusion, Bright Bronze Iron Armor. He quickly analyzed and realized the toxin on the squire had become severe enough to awaken the steel zombie. Through the skill panel, Lu Kan seemed to grasp the situation and shouted, everyone, defeat it quickly, it may be trying to absorb the squire. Hearing this, Sun Gu didn't hesitate and swung his sword with the full moon slash. But he was horrified to find his attack completely ineffective against the creature's steel-like defenses. Seeing that, Lu Kan grew more anxious. If the squire's toxin could attract the steel zombie, they had no time to waste. He rushed forward and slashed at its head, but the result was still unfavorable. The bright bronze iron armor status increased defense by 40%, it would take at least 2 stronger strikes, and fast. Liu Kang calculated quickly and activated Dragon Blood Transmutation, a skill from the masked dragon lance, turning part of his body draconic to boost his power. At the same time, the steel zombie, drawn by the squire's toxin, lunged straight at him and Tan Thursday. Tan Thursday, combine holy type magic with me. Brother Sun, you and Tiny protect the squire. Liu Kang ordered decisively. One arm had already turned into a draconic claw as he attacked. All right. Tan Thursday replied, leaving the squire and raising her staff to cast Holy Radiant Meteor. This time, the combined attack proved effective. The steel skin of the zombie began to crack and crumble into pieces, its body collapsing. Tiny cheered in excitement. Sun Gu observed and guessed, it seems this zombie became so large by absorbing through fusion. Liu Kang nodded in conclusion, so its true form must be inside the shell. Sun Gu watched Liu Kang closely, thinking, in all my years with the Tan family I've met countless masters, but this kid certainly has a special hidden profession. In no time at all, the steel shell of the zombie disintegrated completely, revealing the weak true form inside. Without hesitation, Liu Kang leapt forward, and delivered a thunderous punch. Kneel for me. With its protection gone, the creature shattered under his blow. The secret realm guardian had been defeated. Tiny cried out in amazement. Tan Thursday frowned, her heart racing. A skill she'd never seen, powerful enough to bring down a level 20 boss as easily as flipping a hand. Liu Kang, who exactly are you? At that moment, a gleaming treasure chest appeared. Tan Thursday looked at Liu Kang sincerely. Classmate, we'll follow the agreement and divide according to the rules. Not knowing you before and underestimating you is our fault. Please forgive us. Sun Gu patted Liu Kang's shoulder and laughed. Kid, with that strength you could absolutely clear this secret realm alone. Instead, we'd just be padding the numbers. Liu Kang replied modestly, Brother Sun, you flatter me. Then please have classmate Tan handle the split. Tan Thursday did not refuse and stepped forward to open the chest. Inside were 3 items, a strength potion, an antidote, and a blood crystal food pouch. The secret realm rewards were only these, Tiny scoffed, it was a bit meager. Sun Gu nodded in agreement. Liu Kang rubbed his chin, thinking a level 2 secret realm couldn't contain so few items. Tan Thursday quickly handed the antidote to Sun Gu. Brother Sun, give the squire this at once. Then she gave most of the remaining items to Liu Kang. Classmate, these are what you deserve. Take the antidote and the strength potion. Liu Kang accepted happily, inwardly praising that the Tan family people truly valued protocol. Tan Thursday glanced around, suspicious. We've defeated the boss, why is there still no teleport gate? Maybe we should search the surrounding area. Tiny suggested. Sun Gu and Tiny were about to step forward, when Liu Kang hurriedly stopped them. Wait, don't roam around for now. That just wasn't the true final boss. His eyes were fixed on the system panel. The secret realm progress was divided into 4 parts, they had only completed the first 3, and the last part was still marked with a blazing red skull. Clearly the steel zombie wasn't the real final boss. Why do you think that? Have you found something new? Sun Gu pressed. Before Liu Kang could answer, Tan Thursday said seriously, Brother Sun, I'm a holy radiant mage, I can sense another dark presence remaining. Not long after, guided by Tan Thursday, the group reached a pond at the edge of Tang village. Standing nearby, Tan Thursday pointed toward the water. Tiny said, if Miss says so, then the boss must be close. Sun Gu nodded, this secret realm isn't large, we probably missed this spot when we first entered. At that moment, at the bottom of the pond, a monster with long tentacles slept soundly. As Liu Kang's group drew near, numerous eyes along the tentacles snapped open. On the shore Liu Kang shouted, it's here. The pond immediately erupted in waves as countless multi-eyed tentacles smashed through the water and surged upward. Liu Kang activated the judging eye, but it returned no information. He was right, this was the true final boss. Everyone be careful, find cover. Sun Gu decisively rushed forward and blocked several thrashing tentacles, but their power was too terrifying, and he was slammed backward. Brother Sun. Tan Thursday cried anxiously. Suddenly she felt something tighten around her body. Turning back, several tentacles were already aiming straight at her, causing her to squeeze her eyes shut in fear. Miss Sun Gu and the others watched helplessly as it happened. Thankfully, Lu Kan rushed over in time, scooped Tan Thursday up, and leaped aside, saving her from certain death. When she opened her eyes and realized Lu Kan was her rescuer, Tan Thursday's cheeks flushed. Tiny hurried over to ask, "Miss, are you alright?" Suddenly, the group felt a terrifying aura rise up from the water. They turned around sharply, horrified at a gigantic monster far larger than the steel zombie. It turned out the tentacles earlier were only a small part of it. Lu Kan used the judging eye again. Vengeful Spirit Evil Corpse, Level 25, Boss. Skills, Corpse Aura Interference, Vengeful Chain, Burst of Resentment, Unending Grudge. This is the real boss. Tiny whispered. Sun Gu stepped forward with a stern face and ordered, "Squire, hide behind, I'll hold it off." The squire forced himself and replied, "I can still fight, I'll help hold it back. Your body's only a little better, don't be careless." Sun Gu shouted, raising his sword to block a tentacle strike and roaring, "Leave the attack to you, Lu Kan." Lu Kan dashed straight at the boss, his gaze locked on the humanoid upper torso. He calculated silently, Sun Gu and the squire were barely holding on, he could only rely on himself. But so long as this boss belonged to the zombie line, the method of targeting its true form would still work. At that moment the boss opened its mouth and roared, unleashing Corpse Aura Interference. A debuff immediately appeared, reducing all attributes by 20% on everyone, making the situation even more critical. A tentacle aimed straight at Lu Kan and slammed down. He jumped onto the chain to dodge, and continued racing toward its true form. But the boss was extremely alert and reacted immediately. "Classmate, watch the iron chains." Tan Thursday shouted a warning. No sooner had she finished than the boss unleashed Vengeful Chain. Lu Kan was flung off the chain, inwardly alarmed. The boss roared and manipulated the iron chains to attack Sun Ge's group. "Miss, be careful." Sun Gu stood between Tan Thursday and the threat, using his sword to block. The squire also forced his shield up. Tiny saw Lu Kan suspended in midair about to be struck by a tentacle. She immediately raised her crossbow, fired an arrow, that hit the eye on the tentacle, neutralizing the threat to him. Looking down at everyone's struggle, Lu Kan realized that if things continued this way, the whole group would be in danger. He temporarily set aside the plan to attack the true form, stepped onto a chain and leapt down, shouting loudly, "Everyone, get back." As soon as he hit the ground he cast Dragon Fang Strike, blasting the mass of chains away. The boss above grew enraged and continued to hurl chains. This time Lu Kan continuously activated Dragon Blood Transmutation, and Dragon Claw, confronting it head-on. He leapt up and swung the Dragon Claw, cutting through the tangled chains. However, this action only nullified the attack without dealing real damage. "Little brother, this boss is not something we can face, withdraw for now," Sun Gu suggested wearily. Tan Thursday also spoke up, "Classmate, we're no match for it, staying will only hold you back." Lu Kan calmly ordered, "Everyone retreat deeper into the village, to where the zombies have been cleared." "What about you?" Tan Thursday asked anxiously. "I'll cover from the rear, everyone withdraw now." "Miss, go quickly. In the end we'll still have to rely on him," Tiny urged. Tan Thursday looked at Lu Kan once more, then the group returned to the village. With no more distractions, Lu Kan stepped forward. He swept his hand aside, forming a spatial vortex, thinking, even without that debuff, they still couldn't help. "If that's the case, let my partner handle you. It's time to come out, Little Knight." No sooner had he finished than Little Knight shot out of the vortex, sinking a crushing bite into one of the boss's tentacles. From afar, Sun Ge's group heard the commotion and turned around curiously. When they saw Little Knight manifest, everyone was stunned to the extreme. That's a dragon. That kid just summoned a dragon." Little Knight kept snapping its powerful jaws, shredding the tentacles, making the vengeful spirit evil corpse howl in agony. Then it slashed with razor claws and lunged straight at the boss's true form. Just one final strike. The colossal vengeful spirit evil corpse exhausted, collapsed into the deep pond. Sun Ge's group stood open-mouthed in amazement. It's over?" Tiny asked in a trembling voice, unable to believe it. The boss was torn apart in a few moves, its power was truly terrifying. Sun Gu exclaimed in awe. The squire whispered, to see the great dragon with my own eyes. Only Tan Thursday remained silent, her gaze fixed on Lu Kan. So, the Dragon Tamer Lu Kan rumored in Jianghai is really you. Behind every villain lies a tragic story, and the vengeful spirit Evil Corpse was no exception. 3 years ago, she was born and raised here under the church's protection. Then an epidemic struck and destroyed everything. Bodies piled up, and the dead couldn't be buried in time. She, a dark witch, could only summon spirits so they could say farewell to their loved ones. Ironically, the very church that sheltered her later accused her of bringing the calamity. They bound her with iron chains and sank her to the cold bottom of the pond. I only wanted to save them. What did I do wrong? Back in the present, while everyone was still rejoicing, Lu Kan noticed the pond bubbling and gurgling, and warned sharply, the teleport gate hasn't appeared, so the boss certainly isn't dead. It's probably too early to leave. No sooner had he finished than the vengeful spirit Evil Corpse rose from the water, entering a new phase. Its stats surged, the difficulty jumped to Nightmare tier, and its skill set was completely transformed. New skills: Vengeful Motion Assault, Deepwater Prison, Resentful Corpse Form, Will of Resentment. You won't be leaving here, the vengeful spirit Evil Corpse roared, immediately casting Deepwater Prison and creating water cages to confine its targets. Thanks to Little Knight shielding him, Lu Kan easily evaded. But Tiny was less fortunate, trapped with no escape. It's over, miss, I'm sorry. Tiny cried in despair. Tan Thursday quickly replied, no. I'm the one who should apologize. I insisted on entering the secret realm and caused everyone to be trapped here. Hearing those pained apologies, Lu Kan suddenly spoke up, at this point, are you going to give up? I'm the only one who knows offensive magic, but with that little damage. Tan Thursday replied helplessly. Sun Gu seemed to catch his meaning, the boss is immune to physical attacks, we can barely defend ourselves. Lu Kan, do you happen to know offensive magic? Before they could think, the vengeful spirit Evil Corpse unleashed Vengeful Motion Assault, creating a giant phantom hand reaching straight for Lu Kan. I don't know. Lu Kan replied calmly, but my dragon does. The one about to die won't be me. Under his command, Little Knight activated her black dragon bloodline and easily severed the vengeful spirit Evil Corpse's phantom arm. The boss screamed and immediately formed another vicious phantom hand to attack. Tiny worried, Dragon Tamer, the level gap is so huge. Don't worry, a dragon's attributes aren't comparable to a human's. Lu Kan nodded and activated the dragon's arousal state, ordering, Little Knight, spew the molten lava blaze. Blazing fire engulfed the vengeful spirit Evil Corpse in a sea of flames. Well done, Little Knight, it's over. But at that moment, rustling noises came from behind. The zombies had revived and were slowly advancing toward them, the aftermath of the vengeful spirit Evil Corpse's final skill. While Tan Thursday's group was still flustered, Little Knight transformed into the red-haired girl, and breathed flames that incinerated the entire horde of zombies. She's that dragon. Sun Gu exclaimed in astonishment. Tan Thursday admired, that kid is the black dragon, Little Knight. Little Knight seemed to enjoy toying with those minions. Lu Kan proudly announced, Tan, the boss is dealt with, no need to be so tense. After we divide the rewards, we'll get ready to leave. He approached the treasure pile following protocol, I choose first, no objections. Oh no, how could we object? Tan Thursday hurriedly replied. After inspecting, a treasure chest containing the Holy Light Scepter, the Silver Tomb, the Wailing Ring Finger, and the Job Transfer Tome, Lu Kan chose the Job Transfer Tome, leaving the rest to Tan Thursday's group. Tan Thursday hesitated, Lu Kan, you don't have to share with us. By the rules, it's all yours. I'm not pretending to be chivalrous, these suit you better. Lu Kan smiled and explained, but I really need this Job Transfer Tome. If it weren't for you, we might have died here. Please accept this. Tan Thursday picked up the Wailing Ring Finger and handed it to Lu Kan. Alright, I won't be formal then. Lu Kan accepted it and quickly left. Tan Thursday watched his departing back, a complex hope rising in her chest. Lu Kan, what else are you holding back? You're so hard to read. That night, after 4 hours on the carriage, Lu Kan finally returned home. Hearing his account, Han Ka hugged him tightly, and sobbed. This was too dangerous, just hearing you tell it scares me. How many dangers have you faced these days? I'm afraid it's all a dream. If you wake up and you're still not home then. Lu Kan smiled and comforted her. It's my fault for leaving without saying anything. Don't worry, Auntie. I'll make sure you never have to worry again. Han Ka stopped crying and patted Little Knight's head as she wagged her tail happily. And Little Knight, poor kid, was frightened at first. Such a cute girl yet an immensely powerful great dragon. Han Ka gently asked, after being on the road like this, you two probably haven't eaten well, right? Little Knight nodded eagerly, eyes shining. Lu Kan pulled out the job transfer tome and smiled, Auntie, I cleared a secret realm and got this. If I switch to a hidden profession, I won't have to run this bun shop forever. No, little fam, this is too precious. Han Ka hurriedly refused. Sell it so you can buy better gear, your exam results will improve that way. Lu Kan laughed and pulled out his phone to show the account balance. Auntie, I no longer lack money or gear. I sold the items I got, plus the payment for accompanying classmate Tan Thursday. Seeing the number on the screen, Han Ka's eyes widened in surprise. Then take it, better to use it right away. This time Han Ka didn't refuse. She opened the tome, and a flash of light burst forth, successfully changing her profession to a cult chef. Is there anything special about this new profession? Lu Kan asked excitedly. It grants a cooking sub-skill for spirit cuisine, allowing you to prepare a variety of dishes. Your cooking is already good, and now you'll have additional skills to boot, she said cheerfully. By the way, where's Little Knight? It turned out that after devouring nearly all the buns, Little Knight had rolled onto the floor and fallen soundly asleep. Elsewhere, Tan Thursday was reporting everything to her father, Tan Sun Hai. So that Dragon Tamer Lu Kan summoned a great black dragon and saved everyone. Tan Sun Hai asked calmly, swirling his wine, you haven't told anyone else about this, have you? No, I haven't. Startled at the reminder of their prior agreement, Tan Thursday answered, good. If word gets out, other forces coveting the great dragon's power won't sit idly by. Tan Thursday anxiously, Father, he saved our lives, do you have any designs on his dragon? Her expression made Tan Sun Hai laugh. You think I'm that sort of person? On the contrary, what will you prepare to repay him for saving you? Tan Thursday hesitated. When I invited him into the team, I promised him 100,000 as payment. Never mind, tomorrow bring a formal letter of thanks to his door and offer your gratitude in person. Yes, Father. Tan Thursday replied. You're curious about him too, why not come with me? Tan Sun Hai sighed and declined. If I could, I'd really like to meet this Dragon Tamer, but I already have plans for tomorrow morning. At dawn the next day, Lu Kan's bun shop unexpectedly received uninvited guests, the little princess of the Tai Chi nation, studying in Jianghai. The doorbell rang and Han Ka hurriedly left a new batch of buns half-finished. Stepped to the door and smiled brightly, would you like to buy buns? Sorry, today our shop. The little princess glanced at Han Ka with a scrutinizing look, then turned to the young man in black armor behind her and said suspiciously, is this really the place? You didn't deliberately bring me to this dump, did you? Your servant wouldn't dare. According to our investigation, this is definitely the place. Before Han Ka could respond, the armored man shoved the door roughly, causing her to stumble backward as the hot tray of buns flew and scattered across the floor. The princess paid no mind and spoke loudly, yes, I have come to find someone. Do you know a dragon tamer named Lu Kan? The chaotic noise downstairs immediately drew Lu Kan down the stairs. The sight of buns strewn everywhere, Han Ka rubbing her hands and the strange girl pinching her nose in disgust hit him at once. The place was filled with a nauseating smell. What's going on? Are you all right? What happened? Lu Kan hurried to Han Ka's side. Han Ka just forced a smile. It's nothing. Are you Lu Kan? The princess has come in person today. Lu Kan turned a cold glare to the strange girl. The princess is looking for me. Who exactly are you people? The armored man stepped forward and respectfully gestured toward his mistress. This is Princess Kim Chow of the Tai Chi Nation, and I am Doi Hong Tai, her attendant. Kim Chow maintained an arrogant air. I have come to give you an opportunity to rise to prominence. Become prominent? Yes, to become a dragon tamer. Deep down, you must feel uneasy, right? If you meet my condition, this will be yours. The princess said as she signaled Doi Hong Tai. He immediately opened a suitcase, revealing a glittering egg inside. This is a dragon egg. Seeing your surprised face, Kim Chow smirked. Well? Astonished, aren't you? Want it? The condition is simple, become my servant, do as I say and do not resist. A servant? Han Ka stared at Kim Chow in shock. This is what the princess found in a special lair, arguably a one-of-a-kind egg in the world. Seeing Lu Kan silent, Kim Chow stared at him. Speechless. Do ordinary people tremble before the might of dragons? In fact, Lu Kan's silence wasn't awe but because he was covertly activating his appraisal eye. Armored dragon egg, low quality, armored. The armored dragon hatches with thick outer armor, reducing incoming damage from all attributes. Skill, spin its tail like a fan to deal area damage. So it's just a lesser dragon egg, even a low-grade earth dragon. This armored dragon is basically a walking lump of dirt. You call this a dragon? Lu Kan sneered inwardly, sighed, and said aloud, the stats aren't bad, though. Lu Kan's indifferent attitude visibly puzzled Kim Chow. Doesn't he know the importance of a dragon egg to a dragon tamer? Lu Kan hurriedly reassured them, don't worry, I'll send them away right now. Kim Chow placed her hands on her hips and spoke loudly. A dragon tamer without a dragon is worthless, right? If you become my servant, you could be the first to change the most powerful profession in history, a feat no one has done. With such an opportunity, aren't you excited? Her eyes were sharp as she spoke. Lu Kan sneered. Yes, very exciting, but I refuse. Her answer stunned Kim Chow, then turned her expression to anger. She shouted, do you know what you're saying? You refuse to be my servant, refuse the chance to rewrite Dragon Tamer history. Lu Kan replied sternly, you'd better not come looking for me again. Keep the dragon egg, I have no interest. As for being a servant? Ridiculous. Hearing this, veins bulged on Doi Hong Tai's forehead. The princess personally offered you a chance to advance, yet you dare be arrogant and insolent toward her. The brat is ungrateful. Advance? Don't make me laugh. No matter what, I will never be a servant to anyone. Humiliated, Kim Chow immediately ordered Doi Hong Tai to teach him a lesson. Han Ka rushed forward to intervene but was shoved aside roughly by the guard. The princess has given orders, step back. He's just a commoner daring to be insolent to the princess. If soft words don't work, then force. As Doi Hong Tai finished speaking and prepared to strike, a streak of light flashed, and a slash of blood cut across his cheek. Lu Kan pointed the black dragon Lien blade straight at his face, eyes icy cold. How dare you lay hands on my family, I'll destroy you. Little fam, don't get emotional. Han Ka warned, terrified. Doi Hong Tai involuntarily stepped back, thinking this guy was off. Seeing his subordinate hesitate, Kim Chow barked, what are you doing? I told you to teach him a lesson. Lu Kan took a step closer to Kim Chow, then suddenly delivered a slap like a thunderclap. I don't care which princess you are, shut up, take that piece of trash and get out of here. How dare your lowly underling lay hands on the princess? Doi Hong Tai roared, swinging his weapon and charging. But Lu Kan casually swung his sword, and knocked the weapon out of his hand. Doi Hong Tai, embarrassed, turned to check on Kim Chow. Princess, are you all right? Unexpectedly, Kim Chow wasn't moved, she trembled with anger and slapped him hard. Hong Tai, you useless fool. Do you think I'm fine? Deal with him now. Even if we can't find the Dragon Tamer anymore, I want him dead. While the atmosphere downstairs was tense as a drawn bowstring, upstairs, the constant ringing of a phone woke Little Night. On the other end, Tan Thursday was flustered at failing to make contact. Strange, no answer. I'm sure we exchanged contact info before returning, did I remember wrong? Standing at the door, she was startled by a loud explosion from a nearby house. Curious residents gathered around, whispering, a fight? Is there a fight? Are they foreigners? Kim Chow shouted furiously, raising her scepter to threaten. What are you looking at? Lowly scum, get out of here. Doi Hong Tai fell to his knees, voice trembling as he confessed. Princess, this man isn't weak, your servant has failed. Worthless, can't even handle a lowly Long Nation brute. Then I'll lend you a hand. Kim Chow smiled wickedly as her scepter began to emit a dark aura. Lu Kan frowned slightly, recognizing that the magic resembled Tan Thursday's, definitely a hidden profession. Just then, Tan Thursday rushed to the scene, panting, "What happened? Classmate Lu, why are you here?" Before he could answer, streams of dark energy from Kim Chow's scepter flowed into Doi Hong Tai. His body swelled abnormally and his eyes lost their humanity. He was turning into a monster. Lu Kan thought briefly and immediately activated his appraisal eye. Doi Hong Tai, Guardian Knight Profession Level 30. Kim Chow, Hidden Spirit Master Profession Level 15. Lu Kan, let me help you. Tan Thursday strode forward aggressively but was gently pushed aside by him. Stay here. Help me look after Auntie, she's inside the shop. At the same time, Doi Hong Tai, now empowered, surged forward to attack like a storm. Lu Kan retreated swiftly to dodge, assessing that his attack power had skyrocketed. He would need to use Dragon's Roar Rally. Seeing Doi Hong Tai gain the upper hand, Kim Chow laughed triumphantly. Yes, defeating him will satisfy me. With the princess's blessing, you. Doi Hong Tai hadn't finished when Little Knight burst through the wall from inside the house, her body beginning to transform. Could this be? Kim Chow froze, horrified by the wild aura emanating from Little Knight. Lu Kan said calmly, if that's the case, fine, now it's my turn to vent. No sooner had he spoken than Little Knight revealed her true form as a great dragon. Before Kim Chow and Doi Hong Tai could recover, Little Knight roared and lunged at Doi Hong Tai, her claws striking with such force that he was driven deep into the ground. The aftershock blew Kim Chow backward, she tumbled, dizzy and unbelieving. How could this be? Impossible. With a single blow he defeated Hong Tai. A painful cry escaped Doi Hong Tai as he coughed up blood, weakly reaching toward Kim Chow, whispering for help. Princess, help. Tisk, hold on a little longer, you useless wretch. Kim Chow cursed, pointing her scepter at Little Knight and beginning to cast a spell. Little Knight screamed at Kim Chow, the terrifying aura cut off the princess's spell immediately. Pinned under Little Knight's claws, Doi Hong Tai cried helplessly, ugh, let me go. Little Knight showed no mercy, flinging him like a sack of trash toward Kim Chow, making both of them tremble in terror. Doi Hong Tai weakly reached out toward his mistress, rasping, Princess. Kim Chow stood rooted, staring at her subordinate's pitiful state, terrified inwardly. This is truly a great dragon. Besides my Kim family, could there really be other dragon eggs? Lu Kan stepped forward slowly, his voice cold as he demanded, Princess Kim Chow, what did you just bark? Teaching me a lesson to vent your anger? Seeing him approach, Kim Chow panicked, her legs shook and she collapsed to the ground, screaming, don't come over here, stay away from me. You attacked my subordinate and left him gravely injured, and you intended to humiliate and threaten me. Do you know what consequences that will bring? You will become an enemy of our Tai Te nation. Lu Kan drew the black dragon Lien blade and sneered. Haha, so you still want to threaten me? Ordering your underlings to lay hands on my kin. Feeling the cold murderous intent in his eyes, Kim Chow flinched. You, what do you intend to do? Little Knight responded by opening her mouth and condensing a brilliant fireball. At the same time Lu Kan raised his blade high. Don't you dare bark that you're a princess again, even if you were a god, I'd repay you tenfold. Just then, Tan Sun Hai rode a flying mount and rushed over from afar. Shouting urgently, Lu Kan, stop immediately. Tan Thursday cried out in alarm, Father, be careful, Little Knight will. Before she could finish warning, Little Knight pivoted toward Tan Sun Hai, the fireball ready to be launched. Little Knight, stop. Lu Kan both shouted and slashed, breaking the scepter in Kim Chow's hand in two, then sheathed his blade. Seeing Little Knight cancel the attack, Tan Sun Hai guided his mount to land, and warned, there are quite a few residents around. This great dragon. Lu Kan, you should pull it back. He glanced at Little Knight, thinking the great dragon truly was different, just approaching her conveyed an imposing pressure. Tan Thursday also urged, Lu Kan, please listen to my father, trust me this once. Lu Kan glanced at Tan Thursday, thought for a moment, then softly called, Little Knight. Little Knight understood, threw back her head and roared, then reverted to the red-haired girl. Tan Thursday exhaled in relief and took Liu Kan's hand. Come here. Meanwhile, Tan Sun Hai approached the trembling Kim Chow on the ground, smiling. Princess Kim Chow, are you all right? I just arrived at the airport to pick you up, I didn't expect you'd come here. The Tan family's driver will arrive soon, first take you to the hospital. Inside, Han Ka held Liu Kan's arm tightly, worry on his face. Tan Thursday explained, my father probably knows this princess, he can handle the conflict, so he was called here. Liu Kan frowned. But I feel that princess won't let this go easily. After a moment, Tan Sun Hai stepped forward with a calm smile. I've handled it. First meeting under such chaotic circumstances, luckily you were here, Liu Kan. Liu Kan bowed his head in apology. Sorry for the trouble, Mr. Tan. But I couldn't act differently in this matter. Han Ka, standing beside him, couldn't help but interject. Mr. Tan, regarding today, Liu Kan won't. Tan Sun Hai lit a cigarette and said evenly, I've taken Princess Kim Chow and her subordinate to the hospital. But we still need to give the Kim family an explanation. The Kim family is not only powerful in commerce but also holds considerable influence in the upper echelons of the Tai nation, Han Ka worried. With such a background, and having been defeated by Liu Kan, I'm afraid they'll seek revenge. Liu Kan snapped back, so what if she has a powerful background? I won't sell my dignity for the sake of an egg. Tan Sun Hai smiled, patted his shoulder and praised him. Very charismatic. Good, I appreciate you. Then he withdrew his smile and grew serious. Everyone needn't worry, I have a way to ensure Liu Kan remain safe. But I'm not enough on my own, so there is a condition. Liu Kan asked. What condition? Tan Sun Hai pointed his cigarette at him. At the upcoming grand examination, you must earn the provincial top scholar title. I will do my utmost to restrain Princess Kim Chow until you complete the trials. Tan Thursday warned, this won't be easy, there are countless outstanding figures across the southern province. Tan Sun Hai continued, only when you surpass them all and reach top scholar can I help you. Seeing Liu Kan close his eyes in silence, Han Ka anxiously called softly, Xiao Fan. A moment later Liu Kan opened his eyes, resolve burning in his gaze. Understood, I accept the condition. A few hours later at the hospital, Kim Chow had regained consciousness. Knowing Liu Kan was unharmed, she flew into a rage, holding up her phone and shouting at Tan Sun Hai. That Liu Kan still hasn't been arrested? Tan Sun Hai, you're clearly favoring him. Tan Sun Hai calmly explained, Princess, calm down, we immediately reported this to the higher-ups, they must handle it. Kim Chow snorted coldly, voice full of hatred. Fine, let it be so. Put pressure on him as you like, that Liu Kan must disappear. The next day on the high school campus, the atmosphere buzzed over the grand examination. Students gathered in crowds, chattering excitedly. You're level 11 already. Impressive. You've mastered 7 mage skills, want to form a team soon. Liu Kan's appearance immediately drew every glance. Hey, look, is that Liu Kan? I thought he'd gone home to sell buns. Once an outstanding student but now switched to a useless profession, so bored he came here to be free bait. Hearing the murmurs, Liu Kan frowned slightly, inwardly scolding. Already looked down on, just like that. Before he could think more, the principal's voice rang from the high platform. Everyone, order, the Southern Province Grand Examination is about to begin. Liu Kan muttered. Since reaching level 15, I still have daily maps I haven't used. It's a pity they're all mid-grade, but combining 3 could form a high-grade map. That would definitely be useful for the grand exam. Lost in thought, a voice behind him called out, Liu Kan, you're here to take the grand exam too? He turned and saw his homeroom teacher smiling. Yes, sir, of course I'm participating. I've improved quite a bit these days. Teacher Lee nodded approvingly and handed him an item. Make sure to do your best. This is your teleportation stone. The system notified that a teleportation stone had been received. In the trial context it can be used to transport to a specific floor of a secret realm or to return. Teacher Lee didn't linger. Before leaving he warned, Liu Kan, I believe with your will you may not be inferior to other professions, but one cannot deny their importance. In the exam, any mistake can cause injury or even death. Try to team up with classmates. If anything goes wrong, use it to escape immediately. Yes, sir, Lucan replied cheerfully, but thought to himself that forming a team means points split among members. His goal wasn't just to pass the exam but to take first place. Just then, Tan Thursday rushed over with a girl, calling happily. He looked at them and smiled. What a coincidence, this is your teammate. Tan Thursday enthusiastically introduced, yes, let me introduce you, this is my close friend. You can call her Xiao Dao, she's quite capable. Dao Xiao Man spoke indifferently, hello. Tan Thursday blushed slightly and asked, Lu Can, would you like to team up with us? Dao Xiao Man gaped and softly exclaimed, huh. Lu Can smiled and waved, turning as he spoke. Sorry, I'm planning to go solo. I know you want to help, but this is the condition I've already agreed to. I'll head to the gathering spot first, both of you do your best. Tan Thursday replied, you too. A flicker of sadness crossed her mind as she thought that with Lu Can's strength, anyone teaming up here would only be an obstacle to him. After Lu Can left, Dao Xiao Man looked at Tan Thursday suspiciously. Xiao Thursday, why did you invite the weakest guy to the team? Tan Thursday smiled. No, he's very strong. Believe it or not, this year's Southern Provincial top scholar will definitely be him. Dao Xiao Man didn't buy it, scrutinizing her friend with a skeptical tone. Xiao Thursday, what are you saying? Have you got a crush on that Dragon Tamer or something? She teased, eyes mischievous. Tan Thursday flushed and waved her hand. Don't jump to conclusions. Dao Xiao Man giggled. Hey, your face is all red. After a while, Lu Can stepped through the teleport gate, entering the secret realm where a large number of candidates had gathered. When everyone was ready, the image of the principal appeared on the large screen hovering in midair. He began explaining the rules. Contestants, pay attention, the teleport gates above are divided into 4 difficulty levels: normal, hard, very hard, and nightmare. Each contestant chooses their level. At the normal level, most encounters are projections, you won't receive fatal wounds. Score multiplier x 0.9. From hard onward, the opponents are real monsters. A few contestants murmured. It seems everyone defaults to hard, higher difficulty risks life. Maybe only hidden professions would dare choose it. The principal continued, monsters at the very hard level will be stronger and more ferocious, so go with a team. Life is more important than score. Very hard level, score multiplier x2. Suddenly, a contestant named Hong Vu, a level 14 Qigong master, pointed at the big screen and loudly proclaimed with a laugh, haha, principal, are you watching? This time I'll be the top scorer. Hong Vu's action drew every eye. Dao Xiao Man whispered to Tan Thursday, Hong Vu is one of the top young experts in the southern province. Tan Thursday nodded. A Qigong master. Such an all-around offense-defense profession, daring to challenge alone, we should be careful. A student said despondently, it's over, with Hong Vu here, who can possibly surpass him? Soon, the contestants completed their difficulty selections and entered the secret realm. At the same time, in the principal's room, a group of important figures sat before monitoring screens, evaluating the contestants' performances. The principal of high school number 1 laughed heartily, haha, Hong Vu, this kid is my most formidable student, the top scholar spot should naturally belong to him. Another commented, I think Mr. Tan's daughter isn't bad either, making the top 3 is possible. By contrast, Lu Can's school principal sighed inwardly. It's a pity, if Lu Can had awakened another hidden profession, then perhaps. Tan Sun Hai suddenly broke into a mysterious smile. You too, I'm quite confident about the top scholar spot. Someone curiously asked, Mr. Tan, who are you hinting at? Tan Sun Hai answered, Lu Can from high school number 3. The principal of high school number 3 exclaimed in surprise, Lu Can. Tan Sun Hai's declaration caused all eyes to turn to Lu Can's monitoring screen. The principal of high school number 1 chuckled, everyone's already teleported in, only he remains. Is he planning to skip the exam? Haha, Mr. Tan, don't joke. What can you expect from a Dragon Tamer? Our Hongvu has already climbed to floor 4, he's sure to be first. Suddenly, the principal of high school number 3's expression changed. He exclaimed in shock, not skipping, the kid is waiting at the teleport gate for the final difficulty level. Everyone was stunned. The kid wants to choose nightmare difficulty. That's a one-way level with no exit. Overconfident or crazy? That Dragon Tamer will die, stop him at once. Someone hurriedly urged caution over the big screen in the secret realm. Young man, no one who chose nightmare has ever returned unscathed. Before the warning finished, Liu Kan smiled and strode straight into the nightmare level teleport gate. The principal of high school number 3 stood stunned, recalling the last time someone chose nightmare 8 months ago. That person was torn apart by monsters and died a grisly death. The principal of high school number 1 withdrew his smile, glanced at his colleague, and spoke critically. Ridiculous. Haven't you publicized the rules of the grand examination? Then he turned to Tan Sun Hai. Mr. Tan, you should reconsider your judgment. This foolish choice simply can't compare to our Hongvu. Another agreed. Yes, it's better to rely on the performance of the genius Qigong master. Tan Sun Hai smiled calmly. Isn't it too soon for you two to conclude? Why not watch a bit first before deciding? The principal of high school number 3 asked suspiciously, Mr. Tan, why do you trust him so much? He briefly considered a possibility and his expression changed. Could it be that Liu Kan? In the Nightmare Trial's secret realm, a blazing red vortex appeared and teleported Liu Kan in. The moment he hit the ground, he immediately realized he was surrounded by monsters materializing from the dense black fog. Liu Kan drew the Mo Long Lon blade, thinking to himself that there should be at least 10 creatures on the first floor of the Nightmare Tower. As the monsters stepped out of the mist, he identified them at once. 10 Black Clan Wolves, with a Bite Entier skill that deals damage plus bleeding, and a Midnight Howl that boosts all attributes of allied units while resetting their cooldowns. The Black Clan Wolves bared their sharp fangs and lunged at Liu Kan in unison. Time to get started, then. He smiled, flashed forward like the wind, and unleashed the Dragon Fang Strike. A few seconds later, the system announcement sounded. Nightmare Trial Secret Realm Floor 1 cleared, score plus 990. In the observation room, the principal of high school number 1 sprang up and shouted in disbelief, how can this kid Liu Kan be so abnormally strong with a single strike? The man beside him guessed, his attributes are clearly far above his level. The principal of high school number 3 trembled and voiced the earlier speculation, Liu Kan, has he found the legendary ancient dragon? The leaderboard appeared. Number 1, Hongvu, very hard level, 3000 points. Number 2, Liu Kan, nightmare level, 990 points. Number 3, Tan Thursday, very hard level, 900 points. Number 3, Dao Xiao Man, very hard level, 900 points. While everyone in the monitoring room was still stunned by Liu Kan's performance, the door burst open and a man entered, voice stern, excuse the intrusion, I am an envoy from Long Capital. Sorry to bother you, but we need to escort someone back to Long Capital for investigation. Where is that Dragon Tamer Liu Kan? Tan Sun Hai glanced toward the door and immediately recognized the man as Qian Hung, a level 57 swordsman. In the Nightmare level secret realm, after clearing the pack of monsters, Liu Kan did not rush to the second floor. He stopped to search for the location indicated by the high-grade map he had previously assembled. Soon he smiled. Finally found it, the system reached the location on the treasure map. Before entering, he had pieced together a high-grade map and hadn't expected the treasure to be on the very first floor. Liu Kan reached out and took a book. System notice, skill book, growth acceleration, received, increases the experience gained by both pet and owner when defeating monsters. Without hesitation, Liu Kan used it immediately. System, skill, growth acceleration, learned. He thought happily, increase experience. Perfect for Xiaoda. Since leaving Tang Village, Xiaoda's leveling speed had slowed, this is like a fire warming a winter day. In the monitoring room, Qian Hung stared at Liu Kan's image on the screen, then turned to Principal Bai of High School number 3 with a firm demand. Principal Bai, Liu Kan is your student, stop his examination immediately and teleport him here. Principal Bai immediately refused. Envoy, whatever the matter, you should wait until his examination is complete. As his principal, I can handle things on his behalf. Qian Heng pushed his glasses up, his tone cold. On his behalf? But you cannot accept his punishment for him. Punishment? Principal Bai glanced puzzled. Others were also confused, not understanding what serious trouble Lu Kan had caused. Just then, Tan Sun Hai stepped forward and placed a hand on Qian Heng's arm. Old Qian, for the sake of an old friend, may I say a few words? Without any deference, Qian Heng shook his hand off and warned sharply, Mr. Tan, please stop, do not interfere with my execution of duty. I don't know why you would shield him, but I'll say this, don't get involved in this matter. Both the Kim family and Long Capital's upper echelons won't let this go. If you understand, please leave this place. Qian Heng coldly pressed Principal Bai. Principal Bai, hand the person over now. Before Principal Bai could react, Tan Sun Hai lit a cigarette and said calmly, Old Qian, Long Capital's upper echelons, the Kim family, even the Tai Chi state, the situation is indeed complicated. But once Lu Kan's secret is revealed, neither the upper echelons nor the Kim family will pursue it further. Today, no one can take Lu Kan away, no matter who they are. Qian Heng frowned and pointed at Tan Sun Hai. What secret? Speaking recklessly and opposing an envoy, do you know what crime that is? Tan Sun Hai suddenly grabbed Qian Heng's hand, his face resolute. If that's the case, then so be it. Provoked, Qian Heng grew angry. Your actions will certainly be reported to the upper echelons. Seeing the tension, Principal Bai hurriedly intervened. Envoy, Mr. Tan, please both calm down. Qian Heng's anger subsided somewhat. He withdrew his hand and glanced at Tan Sun Hai. Who is he that you go this far for? Tan Sun Hai looked toward the screen showing Lu Kan, so you don't wonder what secret of Lu Kan could sway both the upper echelons and the Kim family. Qian Heng followed his gaze and froze as he realized Lu Kan had chosen the nightmare-level secret realm. Choosing nightmare, what kind of skill does this kid truly have? Didn't you see a moment ago? With a single strike before the principal of high school number 1 finished, the entire room fell silent. The moment Xiaoda was summoned, everyone was dumbstruck, eyes glued to the screen. Qian Heng trembled as he pointed and stammered, that's the ancient dragon. The instant Xiaoda appeared, it unleashed a strike, shattering the gate up to the second floor. Tan Sun Hai gave a wry laugh. Although he'd seen it once before, it still. He paused to let everyone admire Xiaoda casually sweeping the monsters from the second floor before continuing. As you can all see, that's the secret I was referring to. Under everyone's astonished gaze, Lu Kan and Xiaoda swept through the tower floors at breakneck speed, and in no time had cleared floor 13. His score skyrocketed, putting a huge gap between him and the second place. The leaderboard appeared. Number 1, Lu Kan, Nightmare level, 58,500 points. Number 2, Hong Vu, Very Hard level, 27,500 points. Number 3, Tan Thursday, Very Hard level, 12,570 points. Number 4, Dao Xiao Man, Very Hard level, 12,570 points. After a moment of observation, Principal Bai made a firm judgment. Not only the ancient dragon, the strength of Lu Kan, all his attributes must be over 100. Even without a summoning contract for the ancient dragon, he could still secure first place in Jianghai. Tan Sun Hai smiled and turned to Qian Heng. Old Qian, do you still intend to escort him to the upper echelons now? Qian Heng replied, if so, I'll extract a clip of Lu Kan from the exam and send it to your teacher. From now on, the matter between Lu Kan and the Kim family needn't trouble an envoy like me anymore. Qian Heng was startled. Your teacher? You mean? Tan Sun Hai smiled. Marshal of the Northern Garrison, Du Ting. In the Nightmare Secret Realm, Lu Kan had reached floor 20, facing a group of level 15 Dark Acolytes. Their skills included Dark Encirclement, which reduces the target's attributes by 50% and increases their own by 25%, Dark Fusion, which pulls enemies into the darkness and grants damage immunity, and Dark Control, which commands Dark Riders. Remembering the new equipment, Xiaoda's level was about to surge. Thinking that, Lu Kan ordered, Xiaoda, use Scorching Lava. Xiaoda immediately obeyed, opening its mouth to spew a sea of fire into the sky, incinerating all the enemies. System notice, floor 20 cleared, Xiaoda leveled up, Lu Kan reached level 16. Forward, Xiaoda, let's flatten this tower together. Lu Kan shouted excitedly. The scoreboard continued to update. Number 1, Lu Kan, Nightmare level, 90,000 points. Number 2, Hong Vu, Very Hard level, 31,550 points. Number 3, Tan Thursday, Very Hard level, 16,000 points. Number 4, Dao Xiao Man, Very Hard level, 16,900 points. An hour later, Hong Vu finished floor 50 at Very Hard, panting. He hadn't expected this exam to be so brutal. These monsters should have been reserved for level 70. In any case, everyone struggled. The only one who could compete for first was Tan Thursday. But she formed a team, splitting her points in half. This year's top scholar of the southern province will definitely be me. He threw back his head and laughed, shouting, "Principal, did you see my performance? Those in charge of the 10 prefecture universities should hurry and send me admission letters." The judges barely glanced at Hong Vu before fixating again on Lu Kan's screen. Floor 50, previous top scholars all stopped here. This is the turning point. Lu Kan, don't be complacent, the tower's climb will slow down, someone commented. Inside the tower, Lu Kan checked Xiao Da's new skills after leveling up and shifted its forms. Wormling, all attributes and mana cost reduced by 50%. Dragoness, unlocked via Blood Pact. Great Dragon, strength reduced by 50%, spirit plus 100%, skill, 10,000 burns, Raging Lava. World Breaker, spirit reduced by 50%, strength plus 100%, skill, Earthsunder devastating Dragon Roar. While pondering, the earth and rock from a nearby mountain suddenly collapsed, revealing a gigantic monster. Zi Xing Mountain Vein Colossus, level 20, tier 3 Nightmare Boss. Skills include Mountain Vein Smash, Mountain Ice Ground Rupture, Zi Xing Magma which reduces magic damage by 50%, and armor penetration resistance. Principal by worried, how can we defeat it? The principal of high school number 1 sighed, secretly envious. With this achievement, Lu Kan's number 1 in Jianghai is certain, and the southern province is nearly guaranteed. Why isn't such a promising student from our school? In the tower, the Mountain Vein Colossus unleashed Mountain Vein Smash, its giant fist hurtling toward Lu Kan. He calmly analyzed. Reduce magic damage by 50%. Having reached halfway, an increase in difficulty is to be expected. Lu Kan smiled with interest. If that's the case, Xiaoda, let's try the World Breaker form. Xiaoda used one claw to stop the strike, roared, then shot into the sky, shifting into World Breaker form, its strength stats soaring. The judges on the screen were astonished again. What? It even has combat forms. Suddenly sensing danger from behind, Lu Kan leaped aside, dodging the Mountain Vein Colossus's punch. He countered with Dragon's Roar encouragement, boosting all attributes of both himself and Xiaoda by 30%, then gave an order. Xiaoda, use Massive Jaws attack. Xiaoda lunged, tearing violently and sending the level 20 boss collapsing. The principal of high school number 1 exclaimed in horror, that attack must have been over 2,000. Principal Bai broke into a cold sweat, privately guessing that the strength far exceeded expectations. Just as Lu Kan thought the fight was over, the Mountain Vein Colossus's hand reached out again. He dodged and activated Dragon Blood Manifestation, transforming into a Dragon Claw and delivering a mighty punch, causing an earth-shattering explosion. Tan Sun Hai looked at Qian Heng's bewildered face and smiled. Old Qian, given Lu Kan's current strength, shouldn't you feel lucky I stopped you? Qian Heng fell silent. Inside the tower, as the dust cleared and the Colossus prepared to counterattack, Xiaoda unleashed a combo of Dragon Roar and Earthsunder devastation, finishing it completely. System notice, floor 50 cleared, Xiaoda reached level 12, Lu Kan reached level 17. Choosing Nightmare level was definitely the right call. Lu Kan thought to himself that difficulty was no longer a barrier, clearing each floor would yield far more experience. He continued his journey. In the observation room, Tan Sun Hai stubbed out his cigarette and told the principal of high school number 1 with satisfaction, it seems 50 nightmare floors still posed no difficulty for Lu Kan. The ancient dragon truly surpasses our understanding. Principal Bai exclaimed and then asked Qian Heng, envoy, as someone knowledgeable about Long Capital, can you gauge how much the ancient dragon's power rises when it changes form? Qian Hung pondered. I've seen some great figures in long capital act. If that is the benchmark, after changing form its attributes must be at least above 2,500. What? The principal of high school number 1 exclaimed, thinking inwardly that it might be even higher than predicted. Principal Bai calmly proposed, since he's past floor 50, why don't we use the X+1 rule and see? X+1. Tan Sun Hai looked puzzled. Principal Bai explained, correct, the X+1 format was suggested by the scholar who first designed the trial tower. After surpassing floor 50, the number of monsters multiplies by factor X, and all contestants must face a collective boss. This turns the trial into true secret realms where lives can be shattered at any moment. Even at nightmare level with X+1, everything is replaced by corresponding nightmare bosses. The X+1 format at nightmare level doesn't just limit to a single boss, their attributes are pushed to extreme heights. Tan Sun Hai lit a cigarette, tossed his chin toward the screen with self-satisfaction. Yet look at Liu Kan, as far as he's concerned, X+1 is simply not worth his attention. Inside the tower, Liu Kan realized the difficulty had completely transformed after floor 50, but thanks to Xiao Da's World Breaker form, he still swept through the floors without hesitation. In just 10 minutes, he had reached floor 70, prompting the judges to marvel once more. Only 10 more minutes and Liu Kan was already at floor 70. This trial tower's design might be the harshest yet. At first I wondered if anyone could reach floor 80, but given the current situation it seems. The principal of high school number 1 was left speechless when he saw Liu Kan reach floor 83. Tan Sun Hai nodded. Over the years, countless geniuses who pushed their levels to the limit have been exhausted and died in the tower. Having climbed to floors 70 to 80 and nearing the final reward, who would easily give up? Principal Bai stared at the leaderboard, eyes glittering with anticipation. But Liu Kan, that kid, might very well be the first to complete all 100 floors of the trial tower. The balding principal of school number 1, jealous, cut in, hold on, although those bosses are weaker than the originals, don't forget how high the difficulty of floor 99 is. Before he could finish, someone interrupted, look, Liu Kan, he's reached floor 99. All eyes turned back to Liu Kan. He strode into a ruined palace, where 4 headless suits of armor stood towering. The candles along the walls suddenly flared to light. The armors began to move, emitting an eerie blue light, their mouths chanting non-stop, annihilate, annihilate. Level 55 headless knights possess skills, World Breaker Piercing, Riposte, Thunderous Cleave, and a pact that shares HP, with defense increased by 400%. These enemies hail from a fallen kingdom, a famous secret realm rooted in real historical events. Intruder, Cleave, one knight shouted, using World Breaker Cleave to lock onto Liu Kan. He quickly dodged, but the shockwave still pushed him back several steps. They share HP. We have to deal with all 4 at once. Thinking of a plan, Liu Kan leapt high and launched a fierce counterattack. One knight responded with World Breaker Piercing, but he deftly evaded, then swung a powerful slash. Unexpectedly, the blow couldn't penetrate their armor. At that moment another knight loomed up behind him, and swung his sword. Liu Kan turned to block. Just as he activated his riposte skill, he shouted, now, Xiao Da. Xiao Da descended like a deity, sweeping away the entire castle and the 4 headless knights, yet they still revive. Charging madly like moths to a flame, Liu Kan launched himself into the air. He couldn't waste another second. He had to rush straight to floor 100. He decisively ordered Xiao Da to unleash scorching lava, incinerating the knights in the blink of an eye. Liu Kan reached level 20, the black dragon rose to level 15 and acquired a new skill, Cataclysm. Of course it was Xiao Da, she had gained a new skill again. Only 1 floor remained. Liu Kan cheered excitedly as the gate to the final floor swung wide open. The door to the final floor of the trial tower had opened. Tan Sun Hai laughed, glancing at the stunned balding principal. It seems today we'll witness history, the 100th floor. Principal Bai looked at the screen in fear. That place basically doesn't intend to let any contestant pass. As soon as they stepped through the gate, Liu Kan and Xiao Da were enveloped by a wave of dark aura. The sword in his hand began to dissolve. Before them stood a complete Fallen Kingdom's secret realm, with an undead legion of more than 500, and the world-ending emperor, level 60. Liu Kan checked Xiao Da's new skill. Cataclysm deals massive damage in 3 stages. This is the final floor, let's go claim the reward together. Xiao De roared in agreement. Lu Kan manifested a sword and pointed it at the boss. Xiao De shifted into her destruction colossus form. Xiao Da's whole body flared with consuming flames. Her strength and spirit stats surging to unbelievable levels, stunning the judges. A third form. These flames. Lu Kan still had hidden cards. Protect the king, full advance. At the Headless Knight's command, the Undead Legion surged forward en masse. Lu Kan and Xiao De leapt forward to meet them. He signaled Xiao De to use Cataclysm, continuously spewing flames into the ranks, rapidly thinning their numbers. Could a student really master something like this? The judges were horrified. While Xiao De was sweeping through, Lu Kan dashed toward the boss. Arrogant one, kneel before the king at once. The Headless Knights all leapt forward, attempting to ambush Lu Kan. Xiao De used the 3rd stage of Cataclysm, triggering a massive explosion that wiped out the 4 knights in an instant. 9.8 million points, no one had broken 1 million in the past 30 years. 1 step left, Lu Kan could truly claim the reward. Inside the tower the Undead Legion had been annihilated. Lu Kan, sword in hand, stepped closer to the boss. I've cleared out the lackeys, show yourself, little final boss. You stupid brute, the world-ending emperor lunged in fury. Lu Kan blocked with his dragon claw and ordered Xiao De to use Incinerate Everything. The world-ending emperor retreated, discovering his hands were bleeding and he couldn't channel his power. Lu Kan skillfully combined physical strikes with the effects of Wailing Finger. The world-ending emperor prepared to launch a second assault, but Xiao De stopped it with an amplified version of Incinerate Everything. With the enemy distracted, Lu Kan surged forward and drove a fatal thrust into its chest, ending the boss. System notice: Xiao De reached level 17. Lu Kan reached level 22. The judges in the observation room were utterly shocked. 1 million points, floor 100, uncharted in 30 years, yet Lu Kan completed it so swiftly. Done. Let's go home. Lu Kan cheerfully told Xiao De, remember the food I cook for you. System reward notice: Rare skill book, Frost Dragon King's Fury. Rare ring, Spirit Wind Warding Finger. Legendary cloak, Flame Bone Mantle. I thought control skills only came at level 30. Amazing. Lu Kan excitedly inspected the items, each was extremely useful. He recalled Xiao De and strode out of the secret realm with pride. As soon as he emerged, Lu Kan received a warm welcome from the judges, especially Principal Bai. How is this kid so good? Champion, you are the pride of our school. From now on your picture will hang forever on our school's Hall of Fame. The principal of High School Number 1 taunted, you're funny, aren't you? The Hall of Fame is all heroes who died fighting beast invasions. Are you praising this kid? Get over there, if he has a patron, that patron is his master. Principal Bai retorted. Lu Kan broke the competition record, his future would be unimaginable. Tan Sun Hai spoke. In any case, this competition let Lu Kan fully showcase himself. Lu Kan smiled and asked, Uncle Tan, I've met the conditions, surely that princess of Taizé won't come crying and making a scene anymore, right? Tan Sun Hai smiled, of course I will honor the agreement. You'll be receiving it soon. Receiving it? Lu Kan asked in confusion. Don't worry about that. Right now you should think about which school to choose. Tan Sun Hai replied. The two principals immediately joined in, excitedly discussing Lu Kan's future. Amid the bustling atmosphere, Qian Heng quietly slipped away. At the border of the northern dragon nation, Marquis Chen Bei, Du Ting, sipped wine while watching the video of Lu Kan's performance. A subordinate entered to report. All the evidence is in here, sir. We can be certain Tan Sun Hai's suspicions about your student are correct. From his conversation with envoy Qian Heng, Tan Sun Hai suspected Nguyen Truong Fong, a high-ranking Longdu official, was colluding with the Kim family of the Taizé nation. The Princess Kim Chao's study abroad and bringing along the Imperial Dragon Tutor were both arranged through Nguyen Truong Fong. Hearing this, Marquis Du Ting ground his teeth in fury. Bang! The wine bottle shattered as Du Ting slammed it onto the table, his eyes blazing with anger. Nguyen Truong Fong, so it really was him. On the surface he maintained relations between the two countries, but secretly granted the Kim family privileges in exchange for benefits. No wonder he sent an envoy to arrest the Imperial Dragon Tutor. Du Ting's rage erupted. Nguyen Truong Fong, that ingrate, dared to let the Tai Zhe princess run rampant in the Dragon Nation. He slammed the table, voice like thunder, "Go and order Nguyen Truong Fong that I will strip him of all positions and power. From now on, Longdu leadership has no room for him. Leave at once. If he has any objections, tell him to come speak to me. As for the Kim family, if they continue contacting Nguyen Truong Fong, send a delegation to inquire immediately." He paused, then said thoughtfully, "One more thing, watch which school the Imperial Dragon Tutor chooses, and coordinate with the principal to provide him with the best resources." Excitement rose in Du Ting's heart. Having such a legendary youth in the Dragon Nation was truly delightful. He thought to himself that after the boy completed his mission he must meet him. But the bigger question was when this responsibility would end. Minutes later the news that Nguyen Truong Fong had been dismissed reached Princess Kim Chow, who flew into a rage. Her attendants hurried to calm her. "Princess, please be less angry, we have another piece of good news." "What good news can you possibly have? Without him, how will you capture that Imperial Dragon Tutor?" "Princess, you needn't waste your precious time on him. The announcement of the trial results is coming soon. We discovered that besides Lu Ken in Jianghai, there's another Imperial Dragon Tutor in Tan Chao." Kim Chow shifted from surprise to a sly smile. "That's good news. Hopefully this opponent will be more compliant." System notice: congratulations to contestant Hong Vu for completing the extremely difficult Southern Province trial, floor 72, scoring 89,250 points. Hong Vu emerged from the secret realm, full of delusions about being champion and of the warm reception from the judges, especially the principal. Seeing the principal, Hong Vu approached. "Oh, Hong Vu, have you finished?" Hong Vu replied modestly, "Yes, but I only scored around 89,000, I'm not sure if I'll be champion." The principal laughed heartily. "Haha, it's fine, that result is very good. You can enter any school you want. An impressive achievement, but don't overdo it. You're not lightly injured, go get treated." The principal's calm reaction and veiled remark left Hong Vu embarrassed. Could the principal not care about such a high score? He must be reminding me not to be arrogant. Thinking that, he replied cheerfully, "I understand, thank you for your guidance, teacher." 3 days later, when the results were announced, a crowd of businessmen and school representatives packed the front of Lu Can's house to give gifts and make connections. Amid the chaos, Tan Sun Hai appeared with a composed smile. "Today is the results announcement, everyone knows you're number one now." He laughed, "It's too noisy outside, let's go into the room." Han Ka shyly suggested. Lu Can tried to look up his score online but couldn't find his information, leaving him puzzled. At that moment Tan Sun Hai began presenting rewards. "Here's 50 million in cash, the city of Jianghai's prize for the provincial top scholar. Please accept it. Besides the cash, there's also a gift from Principal Bai for you." Tan Sun Hai opened a chest and the item details appeared before Lu Can. Rare skill book, Roar of the Blue Dragon King, requires Imperial Dragon Tutor or Dragon Tongue Mage level 20. Description: releases a bolt of lightning dealing massive damage with a paralysis effect. After attacking, grants 20 stacks of lightning attribute. Each attack consumes 1 stack and has a 20% chance to paralyze the target. Legendary Thunder Elixir, consumable item, permanently increases thunder skill potency by 20% and thunder attribute resistance. Rare Qinfeng armor requires level 20, strength plus 70, endurance plus 46. Qinfeng Flutter effect, reduces damage taken from control effects by 30%. Legendary Ziemling boots require level 20, strength plus 68, endurance plus 54. Ziemling drug step effect, teleport instantly to any position within 50 meters, 30-second cooldown. Lu Can thought to himself, there's both a dragon language spellbook and enhancement elixirs. After ice magic, now thunder magic too, he wouldn't have to rely solely on Xiao Da's damage. These items far exceeded what a recent graduate contestant should possess. Worn together, his stats would nearly match Xiao Da's right after she hatched. Principal Bai had truly chosen carefully, especially the boots with the blink skill. Tan Sun Hai explained, this skill is only obtained when a mage advances their profession a second time. Then I'll accept it. Luke and took the items. Just then, Tan Thursday rushed in, breathless. Lu Kan, Sister Han, the representatives of 10 universities have come to Shanghai. My father invited them to our house, so I'm here to take you for interviews. Lu Kan asked surprisedly, so soon? Talent like you must move fast. Tan Thursday smiled. They arrived right after watching your competition video. Your video and scores were all secured by the teacher. Except for the 10 universities and the high ranks in Longdu, no one else can view them. You're too special. If another princess appeared, that would be problematic. About Kim Chow, I've handled everything, and he very much wants to meet you, he added. Lu Kan excitedly said, that's great, I'd like to meet and thank him. Tan Sun Hai patted his shoulder, not yet, he's still on a mission. No rush, you'll meet eventually. Tan Thursday handed Lu Kan a card, sincere, please accept this. I came before to thank you, but unfortunately met Kim Chow. Lu Kan shook his head, a Z Kim card. No, that won't do, we only said 100,000. This card is 10 million. Tan Sun Hai cut in, laughing. This is the Tan family's gratitude, thank you for saving Tan Thursday's squad in Ai Dong village. Just take it. Seeing Lu Kan hesitate, he added, tonight someone plans to take you two to the Jiangshan garden. If you refuse this card, how will you react when you see the provincial mansion given to the top scholar? Dad, don't tease him, Tan Thursday hurried to defend, pulling Lu Kan's hand as they went to meet the recruiters. Meanwhile, in the forest on the outskirts of Ton Chao, Doi Hon Tai led Princess Kim Chow to meet the Imperial Dragon tutor they were targeting. What level is he? Kim Chow asked. Level 19, Armor Dragon level 14, Doi Hon Tai replied. Kim Chow watched Tran Thienchi and the Armor Dragon fighting ahead with interest. An Imperial Dragon tutor truly stood apart, already able to take on a level 30 boss. The giant boss roared and charged forward. Tran Thienchi ordered the Armor Dragon to swing its tail in a wide attack, while he himself struck with his dragon spear, channeling draconic chi to deliver a critical blow that finished the monster. System, Tran Thienchi reached level 20, the Armor Dragon reached level 15. Not bad, didn't waste the dragon egg I gave you. Kim Chow applauded in approval. Tran Thienchi bowed, not disappointing the princess is enough. If you were like that useless fellow, then I'd be disappointed. Kim Chow glared at Doi Hon Tai, from now on, that spear of yours will belong to him, no problem, right? Though unwilling, Doi Hon Tai still bowed, your servant obeys the princess's order. Tran Thienchi expressed gratitude, thank you, princess. With the Armor Dragon spear and your augmentation magic, I will surely defeat the provincial top scholar Tin Nam. Kim Chow was inwardly pleased. Tran Thienchi placed second with 210,000 points, Lu Kan's score wasn't announced, estimated around 300,000. There is still hope. Lu Kan, you must remember this name until you have defeated him and taken his black dragon. I will make you the strongest Imperial Dragon tutor in history. In Taizé, you will be my servant, below one person, above tens of thousands. So regarding Lu Kan, do not let me down. Tran Thienchi's eyes burned, rest assured, princess, it is my honor. I vow to be your knight forever. You are very opportunistic, far more so than that Lu Kan. I gave him a chance to rise in one step, yet he showed no gratitude. Kim Chow snorted coldly, then ordered Doi Hon Tai, go to Jianghai and find out which school Lu Kan enrolls in for me. If you can't handle this, then get lost. Yes. Doi Hon Tai replied. Doi Hon Tai answered. Thinking of Lu Kan, Kim Chow ground her teeth, filled with hatred. Before long, he would regret what he had done. In the Tan family's villa parlor, Tan Thursday asked, have you decided which school to apply to yet? Lu Kan shook his head. Because I want to. Then hesitated and corrected himself, ah no, my father wanted me to ask. He said I should apply to the same school as you so we can help each other later. That's great. Tan Thursday exclaimed. I heard that squads at school are important, and we've cooperated before. If we go into secret realms, you'll definitely be my first choice. But I still don't know which school to pick. I'll tell you later. Tan Thursday replied shyly, secretly wondering how many points Lu Kan got. If she couldn't catch up, the distance between them would only grow. She declared, "I'll do my best to get into the same school as you." "Yeah, okay." Lu Kan smiled, pushed the door and entered the room. "Hello teachers, I'm Lu Kan." Before he could finish, a middle-aged man cut in. "Lu Kan, right? We've all watched your trial video, wonderful. The first Imperial Dragon tutor with a dragon in history. Has the provincial top scholar from the south chosen an academy yet?" A female teacher interjected, "No need to ask preferences, our Jiangnan Academy will give you every kind of benefit. A 1-year scholarship of 10 million long coins, all medicines, secret realms, and other resources are free." Another person sneered, "Everyone here is in charge of top academies in the Dragon Nation, do you dare compete for the top scholar with just those offers? Besides what Jiangnan provides, Beijing Academy will add 20 million per year and 20 secret realms closed to outsiders. Don't think you can outdo us. If Beijing can offer that, can't we? We provide the same plus fated secret realms." The female teacher immediately raised the offer, "Terms are negotiable, if you're not satisfied, we'll increase them." Lu Kan was flustered by the heated dispute, unsure which to choose. At that moment, Gu Han, representing the Longdu Academy, spoke up, "This year's national trial participants are selected by Longdu Lu Kan, we can offer you a spot in the competition." The room was shocked. "Really? He's very strong, but he just advanced his profession, how is he qualified for the national trial?" one person objected. "Previous participants went through strict selection. Other countries are already prepared, and he's only just starting. Assigning such an important task to a freshman, do you take the national trial as a joke?" Ignoring the murmurs, Gu Han continued to Lu Kan, "The national trial is a supreme secret realm built jointly by 23 countries around the world. It occurs once every 3 years, each country sends one contestant under 25 who must be a newcomer. This competition draws global attention, and the prizes are extremely rare treasures." The two teachers who had been at odds a moment ago now objected in unison, "Even if offered, it should be for next time. This year's contest starts in only half a year, isn't this too risky?" Gu Han remained firm, "Those who pass the national trial earn the qualification to become national-level masters. From being the top of the southern province to becoming the top of the Dragon Nation. Longdu Academy can give you this opportunity, to become a powerful expert and claim abundant rewards." Just as Lu Kan was weighing the offer, the system suddenly announced, "Lu Kan, congratulations. The treasure map for today has been sent to you." It was a level 2 divine treasure map. He looked at the indicated location, it was the Longdu Academy. Without hesitation, Lu Kan accepted Gu Han's offer, "But on one condition, I want an admission application for Han Ka. Her profession is the Bomai chef, a very rare hidden profession." Gu Han considered and replied, "All right, but whether she's accepted will require a meeting to decide." 4 days later, Lu Kan and Han Ka packed their luggage and prepared to depart for Longdu. "I never thought we'd leave this place one day. We've lived here so long that it feels a bit hard to leave," Han Ka sighed. Lu Kan comforted her, "Now we have a villa and savings, we can live wherever we want. You don't need to be sad." Han Ka reminisced, "I still remember when we first moved here, you were only this small. Time really flies." Just then, Tan Thursday and Dao Xiaoman arrived in a sports car to pick them up. "Dao Zi is also applying to Longdu?" Lu Kan asked with a smile. Dao Xiaoman admitted, "My score is the same as Xiao Thursday's. Seeing she applied to Longdu because of you, She was cut off by Tan Thursday covering her mouth. Han Ka was moved, "You kids are really too much trouble. I never expected little Ken would reach this day. When I found out I had a domestic profession back then, I dreamed of going to university like others. I really want to start over." Han Ka's eyes reddened. Lu Kan hugged his aunt, "I always remember your disappointment and bitterness. I will fulfill my promise and bring a better life for both of us. This is only the beginning." Everyone boarded the Tan family's private jet, heading straight for Longdu. A few hours later, while admiring the bustling scene outside the academy, they happened to run into Kim Chow, who had also just arrived to enroll. As soon as she stepped out of the car, she began to sneer, "This is the Dragon Nation, so this is the capital, huh?" Seeing Lu Kan's group, Kim Chow and her subordinate scowled. Lu Kan slightly frowned, and Han Ka was startled and alarmed. Doi Hon Tai suddenly exclaimed, "So the Imperial Dragon Tutor in Jianghai is him? That saves us the trouble of searching." Tran Thienchi was about to rush forward, but Kim Chow stopped him. "We don't have Nguyen Truong Fong's support right now. If we fight here we'll be expelled back to our country. Stay calm." Tran Thienchi bowed his head. "I understand, sorry, princess." On Lu Kan's side, Kim Chow's appearance made the group uneasy. Tan Thursday whispered, "What do we do now? I remember my father saying she came to the Dragon Nation to study abroad. Could she also be enrolling at Longdu Academy?" Just then, Gu Han appeared. With a radiant smile, "Little Kan, you two arrived at the same time. Come on in." Seeing Lu Kan's bewilderment, she added, "Don't tell me you two don't know each other. You're the number 1 and number 2 of the Southern Province, both Imperial Dragon Tutors, so we call you the Southern Province Twins." Tran Thienchi, runner-up of the Southern Province, is also an Imperial Dragon Tutor. Lu Kan looked at him with a scrutinizing gaze, while Tran Thienchi returned a hostile look. "I've heard of you for a long time, now I finally meet you, Lu Kan.